Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, hello. I guess that you are all here for a couple of very important things we're going to do today. I'm very excited. I'm in this setup, which is the one we use for the big game presentations. I'm not in my usual place because we are going to do the drawing ceremony for the Philo Glory World Championship Tournament, and also because I just feel like changing a little bit. It just makes a lot of sense. I don't have a drink at the moment. Francesco is up there, and hopefully I'll get something coming in the next few moments. But I will still call this tea time. So this is a special one, and we'll try and enjoy it as much as we can. So there's two groups of people here, I guess. The ones that are waiting for the drawing ceremony for Philo Glory, and the ones that are waiting for the Q&A with Felix, who's waiting for us in Paris, in his room in Paris. We're going to come to that later. I guess there's still time to ask questions in the Broken Arrow Discord if you've got some interesting things, although we have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot. It's like 12 questions from the Discord channel. So there's quite a lot of information coming to you about Broken Arrow in about a few minutes. Before we get to that, you know, you guys have probably been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 4 and Starfield recently. I am very much enjoying both of them. But today is the day for also purchasing and downloading the latest faction DLC for Distant Worlds 2. As you might remember, we have launched Distant Worlds 2 in March last year. It was an interesting ride at the beginning. You know, lots of very good comments, lots of fans downloading the game and making the game a success at launch. And then, you know, technical issues kicked in. We had sort of a long year in developing patches and upgrades to make the game much better and much smoother and fix all the different issues we've got and we've had. And you know, we started releasing faction DLCs. And the faction DLCs are rolling in now. We've got, like, with the second one, the new one is the Quameno and Gizureans factions. They are now available on the Slitherine website and on Steam and everywhere else where Distant Worlds available. And to celebrate that, we have created a little video for the launch. And I hope you enjoy that.
In this corner of the galaxy, two alien species, two factions, two societies follow very different paths. The Quameno. They seek the answer to the mystery of the universe through introversion, solitude, and focused thought. They believe that even this, the greatest of all puzzles, can be solved. Their society is led by the most accomplished scientists, those who are tested in the Enigma maze against the most ingenious mental challenges. Knowledge drives them to find ways to exceed the physical dimension, to finally free their minds for eternal, limitless thought. The Gizureans, the swarm that scours star systems, always expanding, always hungering for more to feed its growth. Their past is shrouded in mystery and insanity. Their society divided into cells with limited connections but no unified hive. Like a terrible force of nature, the Gizureans arrive with the impetus of a hurricane and leave only destruction in their wake. Even in this remote and forgotten corner of space, the galaxy is alive.
We had this motto for Distant Worlds 2 when we launched it, the galaxy is alive, and it's very much true in the sense that We have done quite a lot of. I see this. I'm part of this internal chat where that's called Distant Worlds updates and builds or something. And you know, it's probably the only game that had like a single update being rolled out every single week for the last 18 months. It's just crazy the amount of work and updates and new stuff that's been put in the game in the last year and a half. So. Congratulations to the Codeforce guys, and also congratulations to you know, the guys that put together a very awesome video to celebrate this DLC release. There's much more to come in the future of Distant Worlds 2, so I hope that you keep enjoying it and keep buying it. I mean, last week was the strategy sale for us and for many other publishers on Steam. You know, Distant Worlds was very much up there as the best-selling game we've had. So, you know, alongside the Battle Sectors and the Starship Troopers, the Gladiuses, and the Master of Magic. So, thanks for all the support to Distant Worlds 2. So, before we get, of course, we'll have BA News later on as well. We're still collecting the questions from the Discord, so we make sure that we answer the vast majority of them. And you know, but before we get to that, you probably noticed that this week we have announced a big event we're running next week. It's the Home of Wargamers event. Home of Wargamers has always traditionally been, you know, us announcing everything we've got in a catalog up and coming, and everything is in development. Last year we sort of switched it to Slitherine Next, which is the format where, you know, the yearly format that's going to come later on this year towards December, where we are going to sort of announce all the 2024 stuff. But and we've sort of focused our, you know, Home of Wargamers brand on the actual war games. So what we define the Matrix games. So next week on the 12th at 5 p.m. UK time, we have a pretty long show showcasing some of the pretty cool stuff we've got coming for on the war games side. We've got, you know, of course, Modern Naval Warfare. It's going to be prime product there. We've got news for Command, for Flashpoint campaigns. And so I see Sergeant Z-Dog a bit excited about it. We've got combat mission content, Strategic Command, Rule the Waves, Valor and Victory, and Nuclear War Simulator. So if you tune in next week on this Tuesday at 5 p.m., you'll see a lot of that. There's lots of interviews. There will be live streaming of games. There will be videos for most of the stuff that we have up and coming this year and early next year. It's quite a lot to be excited about. This is also going to be, there's also going to be a big effort into a huge war game sale that will start on Monday on Steam. This will not only be about Matrix Games products, but we're also joining, or we've also asked other war game developers to join us into this sale. So you'll see a lot of promotions happening for other people's game that we think are cool war games, and it would make a lot of sense to unify all of the war games in a week and make a big celebration of war games. So if you're excited about war games, tune in on Monday. I've got Ainsley telling me something.
There will be also one of them in the tea time next week.
Ah yes, we'll have also guests or guest. I don't know how many yet, but in next week's tea time, you know, some development team, other development team publishers doing other war games that are not strictly working with us, we'll have them as guests at tea time. We're family, you know, war games are a hobby, and because we're sort of leading in the category, we want to make sure that everyone's involved into participating in this celebration of hardcore war games. So I hope that you guys join us on Tuesday next week, and along the whole week. There'll be lots of events and streams and such. So check it out, and we'll see you there. Right, so Sarah. Sarah's got the cups.
Hello, Marco. Hello.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. I'm excited about this. We've done this championship, what was it, 2 years ago?
2019, I guess?
Maybe, yeah. So quite a long time ago. We've done it. It was super successful. Then lots of different elements kicked in. Yes, you've got to join us here. Just look at that. Look there. That's there. That's you.
Oh,
there.
hey, myself.
And so make sure you're just in the camera. So we had this we had this thing, this Field of Glory Team Championship happening.
I don't know
and,
if the people can.
it's
can
fine.
see
It's fine.
the
It's
box?
fine. It's
Okay.
fine. Let's put this. And we've had this experiment, and it was very successful. We ended up not being able to run it again because the community of Field of Glory, still had to sort of go through changes, and new people joined, and all that kind of stuff. So we had to sort of stop it, but we're happy to support it again this year. It's not organized by Slitherine, it's something that's been organized by the community, and we are happy to support it. So, how this works, can you tell us how it works?
I have the instruction.
Okay, that's great.
No, Mark, I have the instruction. First, I want to thank our beloved community. So Paolo, of course, because he was the first one that helped me try to develop all these tournaments. So thank you, Paolo, and of course Eric and Mike. So they helped me to give me the instruction, the pots, and the teams' names.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty complex, right? I thought I
so.
didn't want to be involved in this because it's becoming very complex. So there's 4 groups.
No, actually we have 4 groups.
Okay.
They are composed by 5 teams.
Okay.
For each. There are different nations. So we have UK, USA, Italy, China, France, and the rest of the world, which is composed by New Zealand, Spain, and other countries.
Cool.
So basically, we have to pick up different countries.
Okay.
So we don't want to match UK versus UK.
Okay, that
so
makes sense. Okay.
So that's why
we
I
want to
prepare.
prevent that happening. Okay, cool. So let's start with the first one then.
Now, there are some rules.
All right, okay, tell me the rules then.
So we have named the pots. So we have the Italy pots, China's, and UK, France, USA, and rest of the world.
Okay.
So first of all, you have to draw for the UK pot.
Okay.
Here.
Should I do that?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, first one
First
is team name Inglorious Britons,
Woo!
nationality UK and Ireland.
Okay.
Players are Stu 101, Carpencam, Morat, Infinitude.
Okay, so this is number 1.
Number
Group
1.
A, first
Okay.
name. Inglorious
Britons.
Britons. Then we have 2 drafts for the US pot. To USA.
Okay.
USA.
Okay. Next one is Pershing Pikes, nationality US. Players are New York Tsar. Why are your nicknames so hard? Claycles, Gefalrus, and Harvey LH. Right?
Okay, so this is number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
And then you have to draw for Italy pot.
Okie dokie.
Italy. Where are Italy?
Okay, cool. Okay, let's do this fast now. Alrighty, so the next one is Condottieri Italia 2, nationality Italy. This was kind of easier. Players are X Legione, Conte Shard, GFS 26, and Harry 72. And
now China.
China pot. Where do I know that?
China here.
Alrighty. Aha, we've got the drinks coming. You don't have a drink? Team name is Tang, nationality China. Players are Lucius Sula, GSD, Tabai, Foyant, 1017.
Nice though.
Okay, cool. So first group is done.
No, we miss.
No, the fifth
5,
one. Okay.
The fifth one. France pot.
Right, here it is. Ah, that was cool. Thank you, Francesco. You didn't notice, but Francesco was sneaking through to bring tea. This is the tea he just brought to me.
I love that tea, kind of tea, Marco.
Team name Ducocolis, France. Players are Cherebushka, Person, Tallery 113, and Fougeret.
I have to check it. So, Marco, we have created Group A.
Group A.
Do you want to do a little recap? Maybe later?
We'll do it later.
Okay.
Let's do Group B then.
Okay, now I have the other piece of instruction.
Okay.
So if 5 teams have been drawn, Group A is complete.
Okay, cool.
I think that Group A is
We're
complete.
done. We're done. Yeah,
We're done.
That's good.
Start again at the UK pot for Group B.
All right, okay. Help me, which is the one we have to pick from?
UK. Was this one?
That's France.
US, no, you say UK.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, that's quite a lot of teams actually. We've got a lot of participants here.
Well, we have 20 participants.
Cry Havoc is the team name. The players are Tyronek, T-Mac 11, Challenge 1 and 3RE. Now we have to draw from the US one.
Yeah.
Which one?
US. US.
I like there's a lot of trolling going on. Salute, boys and girls. Broken Arrow we never release. Well, Astolfo Skirt, it will release. You just have to be patient. Like now, you're waiting for your Broken Arrow news whilst we do this. Hell on Wheels is the team name. And the players are Old Dog 52, ATUS 39, Bates Motel, and Carvon. There's loads of trolls. I like trolls.
We have another Italy.
It's like they're part of the thing, right? You've got to do with the trolling. I love it. The team name is Comites Italia 1. The players are MH5064, True Knight, Emberisso, and HSCIC.
And then China. Another Chinese here.
All right, team. Then next one is. That was I Am a Joke. So it's a spare one. Okay. So we got a blank there.
We have a blank there.
Okay.
So I have another piece of instruction. Okay. If team has not been drawn, then draw from pot all. So the rest of the road.
Rest of the road. Okay. I now understand. That's not too hard. Team name Despertaferro. My friends at Despertaferro, right, Hetzer? Spain, Frenetico, Indie J Trillo, DMP, and Andrea Cos 11. We had a thing today in the internal chat, off-topic chat, that was things like, because I'm seeing some jokes about food. They went from mozzarella cheese to Paul Young. In the space of 4 messages, we went from commenting on mozzarella cheese to Paul Young. I don't know what happened, but it was very
I don't know what this
weird.
Means,
It was like kind of an Inception type thing.
So I think that we can.
We have it, right?
So to drop also in the China.
No, China we did. France, we need to go
because we did Italy. It was a joke, so we draw for.
Okay, China.
So I think
China. No, we did China. The China one was Comites Italia. We've got from Italy. Despertaferro. So we need France.
France.
Where is France?
France.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Team name is Furor Gallico. Players are Botran, Dim 30, Random 27, and Senakerib. So there's 20 teams, right?
Yep.
20 teams, 5 people per team, 4 people per team. That's 100%, 80 people.
It was a good number. Yeah.
So go back to UK. UK start again. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a draw from, if a team have been drawn for group A is complete, start again at UK pot for group B. If 5 teams have not been drawn, it was been drawn.
So Battling Britons is the next one. UK.
Yeah.
Players are Baldric, Ironclad, MCF Sivo, and Cromlecki. Richard, you've been drawn.
It's a Richard.
You're on Group C, Richard. Let's see who's against you then.
Oh, good luck, Richard.
US, where's US?
US here.
All right, keep the pace. Third Army is the team name. Players are Unpronounceable, GSFL 1, Rockman Bob 123, and Gort 7078.
I have one question mark. Why the nickname is so difficult?
No, I don't know. It's just like, what's your nickname?
I am a cherry.
She's a cherry.
It's
she's
just
a cherry. She's a cherry.
A sweet. Italy.
Italia. Why are so many people playing in Italy?
Actually, not so many. Just two.
Just two. This one says, say the release date of Terminator. And not a chance, not a chance.
Not just that, so I think that we can draw for all.
Yeah, rest of the world. We have the poisonous myrmidons. Players are Vakar, Berduk, Heidi Pie, and Flynn 55555555. The poisonous myrmidons.
Sorry guys, I tried to catch you.
There was only 2 Italian teams in Monaco. Yeah, Jasmine said that. I thought it was a whole pot of Italians.
So it was China.
China.
Almost.
We should know now. Okay.
1-1-1.
Chinese. The team is called Queen, as in
Harley Quinn.
Q-U-I-N, China. And the players are unpronounceable, Bright123, unpronounceable, Karzomeyer. There's actually, this one is pronounceable, but it's too long.
And to finish the Group C, we have France.
France. Okay. Yeah. These things are super hard. Okay. Give away key of Starfield. I don't have a key of Starfield. Okay, so we need to go through this rest of the world. This is pretty clever, actually. Whoever came up with this thing was very clever. No, you weren't. Fraternitas Hospitalaria. And, the players are Asterix. Hey, you're in. Sergeant Ogre, Shane, 30, and Gribble. No, Edmund is not in the tournament. He can't really play Field of Glory. He's kind of okay-ish.
And then we have the last group.
The last group is
just
UK. No, wait. We have to make sure that he proves that it's absolutely,
fine.
Correct. Then Armchair Heroes are the next ones.
Armchair Heroes.
Yes, for the UK.
Okay.
So this one is called Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow. And this is gone. This is gone. No, we have the rest of the world to draw here. Team name New Zealand.
Yeah, we are still waiting for the team names. For this one.
We don't know what the team name of the New Zealand guys are. So if you want to give suggestions in the chat, they might be, giving, taking some advice from here. So ideas for a team name for New Zealand.
But I like the nickname Kiwi.
Yeah, of course.
Kiwi.
And what else? What else?
Italy, but I think it's gonna.
No, Italy. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Would I reveal the new BA video today? No, I don't think so. Oh, come on. Look at this. What is this?
It's a doodle.
What is this? Oh, gosh. Then we have rest of the world. So just to make sure that it's fine. Okay. Team name Starfleet. Rest of the world. Players are Questar 17, Bagatrix 1805, Lisandros, and ADB 1815.
Okay.
Then we have the Chinese one here. Team name is Han. Players are ZMD, Pluck 336, Christian WJ, and Meire. And the last one, Montjoie, Vive la France. This is really French. The players are unpronounceable. Frédéric 02, Frédéric 02, Vadim 84, and Lynx 57. That's done. I think in a few moments, Mr. This is not rigged. We were preparing this as we were doing the drawing. So in a few moments, we'll be able to display the actual drawing of the group stages. So that was for Field of Glory. Whilst we wait for that, we want to show you some cool Field of Glory Kingdoms artwork that went really well on social media, on Twitter especially. If you've got it, Miki, just show us the artwork.
I go.
Just stay here.
I can see, yeah.
Not yet, no?
No.
Oh?
Oh no.
What happened?
Oh no.
Okay.
But we have another things, Marco.
What do we have? Do we have a Starship Trooper screenshot? We have a Kingdoms. What do you want to show us about Kingdoms? This is all like happening on the fly. What is it? Yes. Remember, Florian Kingdoms is now hit the second wave of beta.
Exactly, Marco. So we are just now opening another beta for Kingdom Glory. New players, so please come. We need to hear your feedback about the game, which is really good game, Marco. So sign up, of course, and play the game.
Yeah, that's great. So give us feedback. Florian Kingdoms beta. If you want to subscribe, it's slitherine.com/beta, and you can have access to that. Do we have the drawing board or not yet? Not yet. Before we go to the next couple of beta news and straight into Broken Arrow, we've got new screenshot of Starship Troopers Raising Hell that we wanted to show you guys. You've got, do we have that? Yes,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we've got it. Can you put it full screen? Is that something that you are allowed to do? Yes, here it is. As you know, Raising Hell releasing later this year. We've got, it's basically everything is based on flames and fire and everything. So for the cold winter, it's going to be fun to play this. Warming.
I'm really hot right now. Just to show this.
It's really warming as a screenshot. So it's very hot now. So it's not ideal, but you can really see some of the cool graphics that the Artistocrats, Lucas and his team are putting together for this amazing DLC. It is to date the most wishlisted DLC we've ever had. So it's pretty cool. And if you want to know more about it and be in the beta as well, just go on the Discord and get subscribed there and ask questions for that. Do we have the drawing board? Not yet. Okay, we'll wait for it. That's not a problem at all. And to jump into Broken Arrow slightly before we connect to with Felix, you might know that next week. We're going to be present at one of the London's biggest gaming shows. It's called WSD for IGN. This is the second WSD this year, organized in conjunction with big international publication IGN, and we'll have two games showing there. We've got Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, our upcoming RTS based on the Terminator Dark Fate franchise, and Broken Arrow. So if you want to try Broken Arrow, if you want to be part of the Broken Arrow community, as in showing your love to the game itself, you want to come up and play the game. It's not something you've played before. It's completely new. We're going to have, I think, 4 different pods with Broken Arrow showing. So there's quite a lot of space to play the game, and 4 pods for Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. So the show is happening in London on September 14th for 2 days. Make sure you attend, and I think there's quite a lot of fun to be had, both with Terminator, which is proving to be, I think, one of the most interesting RTSs out there. I have no doubt that you're going to love. I mean, this is, we've got a lot of Broken Arrow people in here. RTSs are just going through for us at least, and after Starship Troopers, going through a hell of a good time, because we've got Terminator coming up, which is a really different take on RTSs, and Broken Arrow, of course, which is your favorite thing. Just to wrap it up with the World Team Championship here. Can you put it full screen? I can read it. Oh, I've got it there. Okay, so Group A is Inglorious Britons, Pershing Pikes, Condottieri Italia 2. Why does Condottieri Italia 2 when there's no Condottieri Italia 1?
I think that maybe because there was a list.
Ah, okay. Okay, so. Then Tang and Ducocolis, Group A. Group B is Cry Havoc, Hell on Wheels, Comites Italia 1, Despertaferro, Furor Gallico. Then Group C is Battling Britons, Third Army, the Poisonous Myrmidons, Quinn, and Fraternitas Hospitalaria. Now I know that this is Asterix's team. And Group D is Armchair Heroes, New Zealand, Starfleet, Han, and Montjoie. The tournament will go on until the end of the year, when we'll have the finals around 23rd of December, I think, or something
exactly,
like that.
Until the end of the year, let's say.
Das Tactic in the championship. He's never been part of the championship, Das Tactic, but I wish he was present in
Marco, we almost forgotten. So
what?
there will be also some prizes.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. We have a list of prizes. Of course, most of the prizes are going to be in coupons to buy products from the site.
So and for the first team, I think it's around 30.
Yeah, I think it's about, for the team itself, it's like over $100, and then they can split it between them and so on. Right, let's see if Felix is around. Felix? Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Marco.
See you soon.
Broken arrow, broken arrow.
Let's see if... Felix, how are you? Can I hear you? I don't know if I can hear you, but you look awesome. Somebody's telling me, just a second, just a second. Okay, try now? No? The beard, Felix's beard is becoming so popular. People will want it in the game. It's just a recording. No, it's not pre-recorded. If it was pre-recorded, that would have been a hell of a lot simpler to achieve. Marco, you see, you're trying to communicate.
He said that he hears you.
Okay, he hear me. You can hear me, but we cannot hear you. That's the thing.
Check 1 2 here now.
Yes, it's working now.
Okay, activating the microphone works better.
You see the technicalities. How are you, Felix? How are you?
I'm fine.
How's development going? Tiring? Hard?
Well, tiring. Well, especially now it's really hot in Paris. You forced me to put a shirt on. So let's do it fast. Let's have this meeting so I can.
Okay, you can undress.
I can undress.
Right, we've got a few selected questions from the audience, so I wanted to start with that. But if you want to add stuff, don't worry and chip in. Don't worry about that. The first one is, when is the beta starting? Which is a simpler one, I guess.
Yeah, well, when it's ready, as usual. No, we plan to start that in October, so next month, up to, let's say, we're very early September, so 1 month and a half maximum. So yeah, that's what we aim to have, and that's going to be like a multiplayer playtest on our side. So yeah, we really want to focus, same as what we announced before. It's like we want to stress test the servers to make sure that they can hold a high number of simultaneous players.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be like the biggest challenge, is it? Like, at this point, we know that technically that's going to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and we're pushing the game to 5 versus 5 matches, so it's quite a lot of people at the same time in the match, and it's stressing the network quite a lot. Yeah. So that's why we announced it for August previously, but that was too positive on our side, and we needed more time to fix stuff. So let's hope this time it will be okay.
Well, one of the things that's actually kind of related to that is the question. The second question was about optimization. How you're finding it. Is it a hard process? How is it going, optimizing the game?
Well, normally, well, it's a long process, but we've made a long way, and recently we had a match. I think it was up to 4 versus 4, but we had a match with one of the Slitherine producer, and he was playing with a laptop with a graphic card was what a 1050 or 1650, I don't remember exactly, but something that would have never it would have been a PowerPoint basically back in February, and now he managed to play. Well, he didn't manage to win, but that's because he's a Slitherine producer and not a powerful developer of the game. That's a different question.
No. We let you win, really.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We let you
let
think
the
that
Wookiee
you're...
win.
that makes sense. No, I think that's great to hear. I mean, we know that there's limitations, and what you're trying to do is really pushing the engine, Unity and its capabilities to a certain level. So it's great to hear that you've made so much progress. In terms of UI, can you tell us something? If we've had a lot of feedback when you did the demo about UI and so on. How much is that improving, or how sort of fundamental is that part of the development right now?
Yeah, I've seen this question passing on Discord. So, well, UI, we have worked in generally in four different directions. The readability first. We work on having better contrast, better layouts for it. We work also on the informative part of the UI by adding more icons and hints to explain the mechanics of the game. As you play it, you don't know what something does. You place your mouse on it, and there is a hint explaining you. So these stuff, we need to improve them for the release of the game, of course, because the best play to learn how to play is while playing. Nobody reads the manual anymore. And so yeah, the informative part. Then we work on the aesthetic part. We try to make it more beautiful with smoother edges, basically, and more illustrations. Like people have seen the infantry illustrations that we've made previously, and we are adding more illustration for the specializations, for the loadings and stuff like that. So yeah, aesthetic part is being improved, and finally we have developed new tools like line of sight tools that allows you to display the line of sight from one point of the map, so you can prepare your units, see what it will see from one point before sending it there.
Right.
We have a compact mode for the statistics panel, like something that gives you a rapid overview of what a unit is doing, so it's better for new players who don't want to dive deep into the statistics of the units. We're working, this is not done yet, but we're working on displaying the orders of the units. For instance, you give an order to a unit somewhere, and you will see a nice nice curvy lines showing where the unit will go. So that kind of stuff.
Talk about line of sight and all these, path finding and such. In terms of size of the maps, where does it sit in terms of comparing to other games in the past or like Warno or other games like that? I guess that modern warfare is kind of a different beast altogether. But can you give us an idea of large map, small map, how they compare?
Generally, it's quite big. In fact, giving numbers doesn't mean much in a game because it's more the relation to the size, like with the speed. To give you an example, well, our biggest map, if you want to go across them with a tank using its maximum speed on road, it will take something like a bit more than 10 minutes, which is too much for the gameplay in multiplayer. Well, it can be useful in solo, but generally it's no use to have gigantic maps. It's what you do is wait 30 minutes to go across. So what's important is mostly the pace of the game, and then the size is interesting. When you create a solo scenario, for instance, to progress along a large area, a long distance, to make a long mission, stuff like this. But for multiplayer, we will probably shorten a bit the length of the map to keep the pace correct, so that it's not only about helicopters because they are much faster, you see. So we will,
of course,
we will change a bit the size of the playable area depending on the situation.
I think, yeah, I mean, I guess it's, you know, the size of the map is really dependent on the gameplay experience you want to give. It's not only about, you know, the size of the map itself. So that makes a lot of sense. One interesting one was about, I'm just keeping the next one and going for you know, other, you know, ancillary things like, you know, stealth, specifically stealth and electronic warfare. Are you planning to, you know, add these sort of side elements to the gameplay, or is it going to be full on, like, you know, war on the battlefield and that's
No, we have, well, I don't know exactly what's the meaning of the question of the guy, because there can be many interpretations, but generally I try to answer a bit everything. Generally on the large level, having a stealthy approach, like trying to infiltrate troops behind enemy lines, will be a very important and effective way of doing that, because you can spot the supply, the long-range artillery, the long-range anti-air units. If you infiltrate some snipers behind enemy lines, you can spot that and shoot them with your own artillery. So having a stealthy approach of the combat is important. If the question is about the stealth mechanic itself, so like the very precise stuff in the game, well, stealth removes the visibility for the unit, so the more stealth you have, the harder you are to see. It's really that simple. So I don't know really what was the aim of the question, but I hope I cover a bit everything.
I guess it's kind of also a question about, you know, are there different ways of playing the game? Can you play it like cautiously? Can you play it a bit more, you know, stealthier, or is it more, you know, like one way of playing it? And I guess, you know, that's how you balance these elements.
Well, for solo, it's total freedom. It depends on the scenario, so I don't engage on that domain. You do whatever you want. Then, or the scenario puts you in very different situations depending on the missions. For multiplayer, we have the deck specializations for that, in the sense that if you play an airborne deck, you don't have the best firepower, but you have the mobility. So selecting your deck will push you into a play style. If you play airborne, what you do in multiplayer is you have a strong opening with planes. You try to airdrop troops with a cargo plane, or protect your helicopters rushing towards the front line. You hold the line, and after that you have the guy playing the armored deck who might start the battle by spawning tanks immediately. These tanks will take several minutes to reach the front line, so he will have more of a passive role at the beginning. But after that, he will be the main force, like with heavy armored tanks that are really hard to destroy, with active protection system plus smoke plus stuff. Like, it's really hard to destroy them, and he will be the one really pushing towards the objective, while the guy who was playing the airborne will maybe move to more to the side and try to infiltrate stuff to help the armored deck to have better targets for his heavy artillery, for instance. So there are multiple. Yeah, sorry. There are multiple, more than two way of playing. I take the example with airborne and armored, but we have 4 or even 5 specializations now for the US that you can choose from. You combine 2 of them, so you really have a lot of possibilities in the way you approach the gameplay, and it's really a matter of personal preferences and balance in the team. If everybody's playing armored, well, that can be interesting. I don't know, we'll test. The beta will be there for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're waiting for, really. You know, I was seeing a chat, but also one of the questions is, what can we expect from the single-player campaign? How long that will be, and how much is how is the focus? Is it more like single-player, or are we focusing more on multiplayer? I guess, you know, that's an interesting question to answer there.
The campaign will be pure single player. It's presented in the form of a map with different missions available, and when you play the mission, it unlocks more missions, and you choose which one you want to play in priority. It will be in the Baltic states. It will involve both USA and Russia. Either in the same campaign, or we will split them into campaigns. We'll see, depending on the stuff like size on the map. Like if it's if there are too many icons at the same time, we will split it into to clarify that kind of decisions. But generally, that's it. And so yeah, for the solo, but that's for the campaign. But that's not the only thing for the solo content. In fact, one of the very important stuff that we are developing is the scenario editor, because this is the tool we are using ourselves to create the missions of the campaign, and this scenario editor will be available to the players inside of the game. It's not an external tool that you have to launch aside. Yeah, like you launch the game, and within the game there is the editor. You can create your mission, test it instantly without having to restart the game, etc. And this is a very important element, because the players will have the possibility to create missions, to share them, to download them from Steam Workshop, or if there is an equivalent on Epic, Good Old Games, stuff like this. And that way you have basically always something new coming. Like I play several games where there is this functionality to share content with other players, and it's really interesting. Every week you arrive, you look at the top rated scenarios of the week. Oh, okay, I want to try that, and you get a tailor crafted experience made by someone that you can play every week something different. I think it's really important for the game, and this will multiply the amount of solo content more than tenfold.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think leaving it in the hands of the community is also always helps. This is how Steel Balalaika almost like started working on stuff. So it's cool to see that you're sort of.
This is how I started making games as well, like 25 years ago. Yeah, that's quite old. But yeah.
And you didn't have any beard by then, back then.
No,
right?
not yet.
One question about veterancy, how veterancy works in the game.
Veterancy in the game. Well, it's for the moment there is no veterancy, which simplifies the problem. I've seen this question popping, like with people asking, like how will it work compared to Wargame, and how will you fix the flows of Wargame? Well, first, the best way to fix something is to not create the problem in the first place.
That makes sense.
But no, veterancy is something we would like to add to the game, but we're not sure we will have time for the release. So probably something that will be added later after the release of the game. It's important to create the importance of the unit. Like we have a system where you can repair your units with supplies. If your unit has gained experience and is fighting better over time, it increases the importance and the synergy with the supply system. So definitely something we want to put in the game, but it's not done yet. So no feature, no bug.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, about creating systems that are not well tested and integrated into the game, I agree that it's much better not to include something that it's not like properly, thought through. Just because you can do veterancy doesn't mean that just put it in the game and have issues with it later on. So that makes a lot of sense. And this is kind of one question's coming for very gameplay related thing about cover system. How cover works. And they will be animated while holding buildings and so on. How is that system being implemented?
Well, the game is very beautiful up close, but it still remains quite large scale in the sense that you handle a battlefield of several kilometers wide and deep. So cover is simplified in the sense that we don't consider each object individually as cover, but zones as cover. You have areas that give you cover or not. So being in a forest, like we don't modelize each tree individually. So same in the city. We don't modelize each individual car as a cover. However, there's a nice trick because in the game we have real trajectories for projectiles. So if a projectile is fired at your infantry, but you put your tank in front of them, if the projectile hits the tank first, it's the tank who soaks the hit, and thus takes no damage if it's a bullet, and saves the infantry from being killed. So it's a little trick. It's once again hard to achieve given the scale of the game, but can happen. That's the magic of real trajectories, is that the projectile is fired, and where it lands, and that can lead to some sometimes a bit of blue and blue if you have crossed line of fire and stuff like that. But well,
yeah, absolutely.
Be careful with your artillery.
Don't be too hard. Multiplayer. Is there going to be like one multiplayer mode? You know how multiplayer scoring works. You know how it's that going to happen. Is it you said 5v5, but there's a lot more about it, right?
Yeah, well, our objective is really to push the five versus five gameplay in order to have each player in the team to feel important enough for the team to have a role to play. Like 20% of the battle it's you, but we also want to have a rather large team so that new players can easily jump into multiplayer and not feel totally overwhelmed, because at least you always have 4 guys with you helping you win the match. So it's a bit of a safer environment for a new player. And for the game modes themselves, well, we didn't define it, we didn't finalize that yet. We wait for the beta. We will try multiple stuff during the beta with the objective to determine, okay, what feels better, what is the most enjoyable game mode. Should we mix multiple of them together at the same time? And with that, once we have determined this, we will create a main game mode that will be the one played with the auto match to have a maximum of players playing it. But we will still offer the possibility to create custom matches with a homemade rule. And in fact, if you can go even further and create your own scenario and invite people to play it, and it's 100% your rules. So you can take the tools that we have given to you and create your own multiplayer game mode, and maybe create the best multiplayer game mode ever. Who knows? That's the objective. That's the beauty of the editor, once again.
Yeah, I've got a last question for you, which is sort of second to last question. I've got a question myself in the end. Hope that'll be fine for you. The last question from the community we had from the Discord was about nukes and how they impact the battlefield. Is there anything you can disclose about that? How nukes will impact the overall experience in terms of
That's quite a big impact, I would say. Like it hits you like a truck, and then you have a big mushroom of light in front of you, and then if all your troops were in the same place, well, basically you can go back to spawn your army again and move back to the front line. Well, it's like the nuke is the ultimate weapon. So yeah, when you take it in the face, it hurts, and basically everything is destroyed. Like all the buildings are shattered. Nothing survives this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we keep tactical nukes notes, like, because the strategic nukes would be like erasing the entire map and restart the match, which is not the most important, interesting, but.
Felix, I think that one question I had for you. First time we announced Broken Arrow, people were going ballistic, and there were a lot of excitement about it, and you guys were like a new team, trying to face a lot of new things. I guess that past 18 months, I think about more than 18 months after the announcement, and after all these years of development and such. I see a lot of questions about very small things and very specific things. How do you relate to this, as in the grander scheme of things, as in you guys want to make the game that you always wanted to play, as opposed to listening to the community and looking at how these two, your vision and the community's vision gel together and try to come up with the final product?
Generally, I think the community. The problem is that the community is not a unified mind so it's composed of many people with different opinions. So one thing is certain: you can never please everybody. That's a certainty. We want to please a maximum of people, but we also don't want to sacrifice anything to that. I've seen too many games fail because they lost their initial vision. Because of a new trend appears and let's change everything. So the way you make a game is there is all what you want to do, what you can do, and in the end what you end up doing is the mix between the two. And I'm really satisfied in the sense that the game has evolved a bit since the beginning, in the sense that, for instance, we went more towards something that has a bit more action and than at the very beginning of the project. But I really feel that it's for the best. In the end, all the feedback we get from people trying the game are generally very positive. Of course, they say, okay, icons are missing, hints are missing. You see, like it's hard to play because you don't have the mechanics, you didn't play the tutorial and stuff, but the feel, the gut feeling they get every time they play is always positive. And I've made some friends of mine play who are big fans of war games and stuff like this, and they really love it, and that's really reassuring for me that these people with whom I've played for years, and who they judge the game as positive in the end, like, hey, carry on, good direction, fix all the bugs.
Yeah, fix all the bugs, that's for sure. Thanks, Felix, for joining us. I think you gave us a good insight in where we are where you guys are with development, and I hope to to do another one of these interviews when we approach beta, so that we can sort of start looking at what people are saying and people playing the game are saying, and respond to some of that as well. So thanks for joining us, and good luck with the rest, with the end of development as you cross the finish line.
Yep, thank you. See you, Marco.
Cheers.
Bye.
Well, guys, that was the interview with Felix. This was really made on the fly. I mean, last week during the show, we just started answering some questions, and I said, if you come up with a good number of questions, then we'll get Felix on board for an interview, and we delivered on that, and I'm happy we did. I think that overall it went very well. Thanks for all the Broken Arrow fans for joining us. The the game, as we said, is going to go into beta in October, and will expand to more open beta, especially for multiplayer, towards the end of the year. So the next big appointment for Broken Arrow is when is at WSD, if you want to try the game next week in London. And otherwise, I will post you some pictures on Discord, and we'll see you there. I just finished this with the streaming schedule for the week, as I owe you that. This is after this. We have Richard York ready to rumble with Distant Worlds 2 DLC, Quameno and Gizureans. Sorry. He's also playing Gizureans 2 tomorrow at 6, and Sergeant Z-Dog will play Starship Troopers Terran Command with the scenario editor at 8 tomorrow, followed by Gamer, who's going to do Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector Demons as well. And that's going to be at 10 p.m. tomorrow. The next week we'll start off with Matrix Monday. We'll have Rule the Waves 3 with Exabu, playing some funny, I guess, Austrian or something, trying to win the game there at 4:15, and Richard York again, playing Shadow Empire at 6:15, specifically with the Oceania DLC. And then, of course, on Tuesday, I said this, next week on Tuesday at, I think it's 5 p.m. Is it 5 p.m.? At 5 p.m. next week on Tuesday, we'll have Home of War Gamers live with a long show about war games and what is coming on that side of the gaming world. Thank you for joining us. It's been great to have you. It's been a long tea time, but I hope you enjoyed it. And everyone else, I'll see you next week on Tuesday for Home of War Gamers. Thank you and bye.
The attraction towards new experiences is powerful. Alienware gear isn't made to resist that pull. It's made to accelerate it, to transport you to new places where you can embrace difference and leave familiar behind, bringing you ever closer to the ultimate experience. See you on the other side.